Hello, good morning. Welcome to another exciting time where we talk about the best of stories in the world of sports. It is Sports Central, and my name is Bladukem. And many action taking place from yesterday, especially the Euros, looking at the possibilities from different angles. Germany qualifying, and Julian Nagelsmann now qualifying for the second round, or not the second round in that direction, the round of 16, you can call it that way. And Julian Nagelsmann, the coach of the side, extending his contract with the side till 2026 based on the clause on the contract if they get to the round of 16. Well, fascinating games also took place in the Nigerian Premier Football League. We're talking about Doma United being beaten at home. And now it's a story for the likes of Sunshine Stars, stabilizing that position in the league. No more battling or worrying about relegation. It's a conversation this morning, and we'll look at different talking points, even in the world of tennis. Well, as usual, I normally talk about Marizona joining the conversation, so I'll start with that. But I have a big man in the house, and we'll begin a conversation with him this morning, Mfon Udoh. But Mari, let me start with you before we talk to the big man now. Mari, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Blighting.
I'm not supposed to welcome you.
Yeah, I'm supposed to welcome you to the show. So, good morning, welcome to the show. Like, you look very splendid, by the way, and of course, it's a special day, you know, for the program, particularly because we're having an MPFL legend live at the studio with us this particular morning, and it feels good to be here.
What a way to start. I would have loved him to come later in the show, but we have to start with him because, come on, a man that graced you with some honor, you have to give him that honor as fast as possible. So, Mfon Udoh, when you joined this set, you said it's been a long time you've been on TV. I picked that in.
It's actually been a long time because, of course, you know my office.
Yeah, your office at the field of play.
So your office at the field of play.
Yeah.
So here we like somehow, somewhat. I feel like adding Mr. Mfon Udoh to you.
You can actually do that.
Absolutely. Good to be part of the show this morning.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah.
Well, in case you don't know, but I doubt many people do not know, they know him. Mfon Udoh is an absolute legend. His career spanned from Calabar Rovers at the time, Akwa United, Ayimba Football Club, had some stint with the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and then moved even further. Now he's playing club football at Bangladesh Premier League at the Bashudara Kings. And it's that conversation. He's a club legend, and he still holds the highest goal scorer in the Nigerian Premier Football League. How many goals now? 23 goals.
23 goals, as a matter of fact, yeah.
In that regard.
I think we should start from there, you know, Mfon Udoh, because, I mean, we've played at the NPFL. You know the league through and through. Scoring 23 goals, you know, in a single season. It's been 10 years down the line, right?
Yeah.
And there's been nobody to break that record. Walk us through, you know, the motivation around the fact that you still hold that record of the highest goal scorer in a single season in the NPFL.
I think that season was an amazing season for me.
Yeah.
Everything I did turned to go, you know.
Yeah.
I was scoring with my head.
The Midas touch.
Everything was just magical. So that season was an amazing one. I think one of the best seasons I've had so far in the league when I was playing in Nigeria.
Between 2012 and that season where you scored the goal 2014, you scored a total of 41 goals. As a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah, 39 to 41 goals. You don't even track the record. You walk us through the mindset, you know, during these 2 years, because some people think these were the 2 best years of your footballing career, especially in the NPFL. Walk us through, you know, what you did differently between those 2 years, 2012 and 2014.
Well, for me, I don't think anything was so special. We had a good team. I had good colleagues who were helping me, and definitely it's going to be hard work.
Yeah.
Dedication. I was determined to do that. I felt, you know, when Judah Neke and Ahmed Musa, when they scored 20, so people were like, I don't think this is going to be possible. But, if you have a positive mindset, I think everything's achievable. So I just worked hard. And that was just the extra I played too.
All right, Mfon, let's go to some structures in this one. When I look at your stats in particular, where the teams you played and the appearances you had, 2011-2012, you played for Calabar Rovers, scored 10 goals, 8 assists. Not many people get to talk about it, but it seemed to be the beginning of everything for you. So let's have a conversation about how it all started for you before we get to talk about Ayimba, because I see the number of goals you scored for Ayimba Football Club before the second stint at Akwa United.
Well, so if we're going back to the start, you know, playing street football, getting hired, you know, like people take me like a machinery, you know.
Yeah.
So I think I was playing on one street football one particular time, and fortunately for me, the coach of Rovers came to watch. He didn't come to watch me. He had some players he came to watch. But when he came, I think I caught his eyes. And I think that was just the turning point from street football to playing professionally, and I think that was my first season. It was a half season, not even a full season.
Yeah, half season. Yeah,
it was a half season. So from there we came to play Aqua United, and from there the evolution just started.
The rest is history.
Yeah. It was 10 appearances, yes, at Calabar Rovers. Yeah. Definitely half season. Yeah. But let's also look at another interesting path. In your career, there was a time you had a downturn. I think it was at Ayimba Football Club. Some sort of injury around the media before you had to return to Aqua United. In the streets, many people have a different opinion about that injury and the situation you had. So I'm asking for clarity. What really happened within that time?
I think I was kind of sick, Injuries are part of the game.
Absolutely.
And I'm so happy I could come up. I wasn't feeling too well, so I just had to take a break then. But well, I'm here now.
Yeah, and also since we're unpacking right now, there were a lot of talk around the media space and in the streets as to the reason why you left Ayimba Football Club, initially, and then joined the Aqua United for that second stint. People talked about a bit of bad blood between the management of the side, the coach of the side, as at that time, and of course for you as a player. So walk us through what happened that period that led to your departure from Abia State back to Akwa Ibom State.
Well, the truth is, football is not stagnant. We move from club to club, and if I feel I'm not happy with where I am, I need to move. A lot of reasons. I can move for money. I can move for peace of mind. I can just move for
comfort.
So a lot of people were saying we had issues with the management. Yeah, that was part of it. But when you're in a place and you don't feel welcome, no more.
You have to leave.
A good dancer knows when to leave his stage.
No more.
Let's just talk about one key point, because for many Akwa Ibomites, they were looking at Mfon as a legend at the time. I remember which year was that, 2018, 2019, when you returned to Akwa United, and you had about 27 appearances and scored massive 17 goals. I remember when the Gospel of Akwa State Stadium was open, you partook in that game against Ghana when Nigeria played against Ghana, more like the home-based team. But a conversation, many people expected Mfon to go to one of the biggest clubs in the world. But it took some time, it never happened. It took some time, it never happened. Then he went to FC Tulsa at that point, where he had, in 2020, he had just 4 appearances, no goals. I look at your record, it seems to be the only club he never scored a goal. What was life there?
Yeah, that was because I had little or no playing time.
So, in Tulsa.
In Tulsa.
Why was it so? A player that just scored so many goals in the Nigerian Premier Football League, such a legend, everyone knows about it.
Yeah, that was Nigeria. I was going to America. It was new for me.
Different ball game.
It was a different ball game. First team abroad. So, I couldn't adapt on time. I was trying, but...
adaptation fever of some sort.
I couldn't, the weather, everything, new system of play, new coach, new players, new environment. There were a lot of factors that really affected my performance, but it was a good experience,
Not to interrupt your thought, you talked about leaving Nigeria, new system of play. Let's have a conversation in that direction. You've taught different areas now. After Tulsa, you returned to Akwa United. At that point, what was the difference at the United States of America that football? Because when you look at the MLS, it's not the biggest of leagues in the world.
Tulsa was in the second division.
Yes, absolutely. So what was the difference? Was it a style of play? Was it maybe the kind of food they eat and all of that?
Even the weather.
Everything is different, of course. Nigeria and America.
Let's talk the area of football. How they approach football.
Well, let's start from the facilities.
Okay.
It's different. Like, you don't even have any excuse not to play good football.
Yeah.
Everything, the style of play, everything, weather, the conditions. Okay, let's say in America, I don't have to wash my cleats, like my shoes.
Yeah.
I don't need to wash my kits. I just go to practice. I'm done and drop.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning when I'm back, it's already washed. Put in my locker. I'm done.
So a new style for
everything was different,
and it came with shock.
So leaving America back to Nigeria, man.
Yeah, you're already used to this kind of life.
It was terrible, man.
Tony, he's even talking about.
There's always setbacks. There's always setbacks. How you bounce back up is more important.
I think we should talk about Bashundara Kings, in Bangladesh, because when everybody saw, the news of you leaving, to Bangladesh, a bit of spins with Saif. As a matter of fact, we'll talk about Saif very soon. But how's the experience been like in Bangladesh so far? I think we spent like a full season there, with them. What's the experience like in Bangladesh so far?
Actually, it's 3 seasons.
3 seasons.
3 different teams. So the first club I went to was Saif.
Yeah.
Then I left Saïd, I went to Sheikh Russell.
Yeah.
Then to Bashundara. And it was an amazing season last season.
Yeah.
To be specific, because we won a treble. We won all the cups.
Absolutely.
In Bangladesh. So at least I've been a champion.
Yeah, in Nigeria.
A champion in Aqua United 2 times. So also going to Bangladesh and also being
reigning in Bangladesh.
Oh,
it feels very good. Talk us through the difference. Like Blyden had asked about the difference between the USA and of course Nigeria. Talk us through the difference in playing football in Bangladesh compared to Nigeria.
Most people still agree with me, but when I say Bangladesh is far more better than the Nigerian league in so many aspects.
Examples?
Yeah, give us the indices.
Like all my games.
Yeah.
It's televised. So that's one.
On national television.
So you can agree with me on that, yeah? Okay. It's streamed live. Travel experiences. We don't travel like Akwa Ibom to Kano on the road for 8, 7, 10 hours.
15 hours sometimes.
The maximum travel distance should be like let's say 3.5. And this 3.5 we need to stop for lunch.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
The players are fresh.
They are Muslims, so we stop to pray. So even the journey is not even hectic, and we have good buses, not like the one in Swiss.
I think you should off your mic here.
You got to come for me.
All right, Mfon, Udoh, so good to have you here. And let's look at the national team's perspective, because it's worthy of talking about it. Never really had lots of things with the national team. And one of those conversations about the national team would be in this direction now. They always say, when you're at home, everyone clamors for you to be part of the national team. When you leave the scene, no one really talks about it, especially if you're not going to one of the allied countries of football. So for you, experience in football with a national team, what do you make of it?
Well, I'm happy I was able to play 1 or 2 matches for
the Nigerian national team.
I feel honored that I had those experiences and the privilege to play. Well, like you said, when you leave to one of these countries that are not really footballing countries, the people tend not to, speak about you a lot regarding the national team. But,
do you regret not playing for the national team that much, despite being such a pool of talent?
Yeah, I do, of course I do. Everybody is pride and honor to play for your country.
You think it's late now?
Well, nothing is late for me. I don't believe anything is late. You can do it, even regardless.
All right.
Because a lot of people at the point they felt that I wouldn't leave the country again. They say, he's been in the country, he's been running. So why is he not traveling?
They were wondering what was happening.
So some people might have said it is late, but I did. So impossibility is nothing.
All right. Impossibility. One last one I want you to have before Mari talks about it. You've seen the present Super Eagles of Nigeria, how things are spanning. Few qualifiers have played, 4 qualifiers now. They've not been able to win any. And the last one, just a few days after we had Victor Osimhen ranting on social media with the coach Finidi. Despite the fact that Finidi never talked about it, there are rumors all around that Victor Osimhen would be banned, but NFF have come out to say, we're not banning Victor Osimhen, maybe yet. But there's a disciplinary committee in that regard. When you saw all of these, put it side by side with the performance of the national team so far, what did you take from it? Or probably some advice for young superstars too?
Regarding the Super Eagles,
I see that.
I'm just gonna put in a little story. People that understand will understand.
All right. So hope to understand too.
Yeah. So this is Akwa Ibom State,
Yeah.
So if we like afang soup, if I buy ingredients for afang soup for you, and I buy for myself, and we say let's cook, mine is going to taste differently.
Most definitely.
We use the same quantity,
same ingredients.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is that it depends on who cooks. Same ingredients.
Okay.
We can't say
you're technically not called names.
So,
that's very tactical.
We have the players. We have everything.
Depends on who cook.
We have the equipment, so who cooks?
Now let's talk about the cook. As a matter of fact, there's been an ongoing debate, for several years right now of who should coach the Nigerian national team. There's been a debate of a local-based coach, a foreign-based manager. Right now, Finidi George, he's resigned right now. We hear there's a white man coming in and all of that. Where do you stand in the home-based coach versus foreign manager coaching the national team?
I think it doesn't really matter. For me, I think the pressure is just too much on the Super Eagles right now. So even if you bring Jose Mourinho right now and he loses just one game,
it's a problem.
He's still going to be under pressure. So I think right now it's too much pressure. So it's not even about Finidi right now. So I just think we need just a turning point. One game,
I'd love to also ask you, because you've played under several managers, both Nigerian managers and foreign managers. What are the advantages and disadvantages of playing under a foreign coach in this context?
It depends on the individual. It doesn't matter if he's a foreign coach or not. It just depends on that particular.
The cook.
The cook. So you could play under a Nigerian manager and it's even more better than playing
like foreign manager.
Yeah, so it depends on the person.
All right, Mfon.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, because our time is fast spent, we got to talk about other stories as fast as possible. But one last one, because I believe not just elderly people are watching you, young footballers are also watching you on the show now. And if there's a legend from a Nigerian Premier Football League, maybe the Kano Pillars man could be one of it now.
Yeah, Rabioli.
Rabioli could be one of it. He's been, how old is he now?
Like 43 or thereabouts, yeah. 43.
But another man that's really had an experience in the Nigerian Premier Football League, it's you. And in the journey, finally, you've played outside the shores of Nigeria. Yeah. You want to advise a young star in Nigeria who's hoping, thinking he's so talented and wants to play football. What would be the advice you would give to them?
Well, for me, I would just say, believe in yourself, work hard. Don't let anybody talk you down. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
You know, so just work hard. Believe in yourself.
Now,
the sky is going to be your limit.
Let's talk about, our constituency, Akwa United.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's been a top city of the season for them so far. I mean, we're waiting for March day 38 when they play Rivers United on Sunday. I hope you'll be in the game, by the way,
sure.
To cheer the boys to glory, because they need that win to stay afloat. What do you make of Akwa United season so far? And what do you think has been the major reason for their seeming downfall?
I think they did start well.
Yeah.
And, they're always going to say, I'm going to say the way it is.
Yeah, legend.
I think they had just average players. Yeah. So you can't, you want to be the champion of the league, you need to go for good players.
Absolutely.
So I think they just had average players, and that's why they're struggling.
Finally, Mari, no more questions.
For the senior man.
Before we end up making the show totally about the interview, no more sessions, but finally, common mistakes players make as we close.
Common mistakes.
Yeah.
Sometimes overconfidence.
So they become arrogant.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
So I just feel that's one of the reasons.
Okay. And that's one of the reasons. And immediately when he talked about overconfidence, it reminds me of Victor Osimhen. Maybe, but I'm not saying anything. Well, we'll draw the curtain on the first phase, and when we return, a quick substitution will take place. But before that, I have to say a big thank you to Mfon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, legend of the NPFL.
Thank you so much.
Like to call him that
some other time.
Of course, anytime.
All right, thank you so much.
And thank you to you watching also, thank you. But we'll go on a quick break. When we're back, it would be a quick substitution. Mfon leaves the set, and guess what? Utome David gets to join their set. He's not a club legend, but for us, he's our legend.